Welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. Just going to prepare for the market tomorrow. Going to take a look at some things, look at the market tonight, look at maybe some of our plans for tomorrow. Also want to talk a little bit more about Novavax and the news that came out this weekend. So let's go ahead and jump into everything. We can start out by looking at our portfolio and kind of get an idea of what we're holding, what we're not holding, what we might purchase, what we may not purchase. Then we'll look at the market tonight as well. So let's go ahead and look at our portfolio. All right, you see here we're holding X, Peloton, Novavax, MPC. We're not holding any EXAS right now, no Cliff, and no ACB. So we're going to be looking at those things tomorrow. The Peloton, looks like we're about 4% out on that. I probably won't be doing anything with that tomorrow unless it has a really good day. If it goes down anymore, I'm probably not going to be cost averaging on that one because I don't really trust that stock yet. Hadn't been around long enough for one thing. But now Novavax, MPC is down as well, about 4%. That's a different story with that one. I've traded it for years. I'm more comfortable with cost averaging down on something like that, so we'll probably cost average down on that one if it has a bad day. If it has a good day, it probably won't be sellable because it's down 4%. It's not going to have a 6 or 7% day tomorrow, I wouldn't think. So we're going to just watch those. The X that I recently bought is some cost averaging, so won't be trading that in the IRAs. It won't be trading it also in the cash account because that's not something I want to trade. That's more of an investment. I expect to hold that for a while, see how this infrastructure bill goes, if they can ever get one through. That's my hope on those steel products. So those are going to be a while. So we're not worried about trading those. Let's see here. We got the ACB. ACB is back down to 170. It had a pretty good hit last week after some CEO leaving and bad earnings, I believe. So we're going to watch that one. It looked like it held up pretty good Friday. So if it holds that 165 range, we're probably going to jump back into that. So if it can hold at 175, 165, I think we're going to probably pick up some of that tomorrow in the afternoon sometime. CLF's back a couple cents below where we sold it, so it needs to get a little bit lower, maybe 715, somewhere around there. We might think about buying some 715, 720 area. So we're probably not going to be buying any of that unless it gets down to that low. Okay, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Novavax. Some news that came out this weekend on Novavax. Let's go over here and let me show you. Neil Cavuto, he actually had on the president of research, Gregory Glenn from Novavax. Had an interview with him yesterday. It was a good interview. He kind of gave some more detail about the vaccine that Novavax is working on for this virus, this coronavirus that's out. So I think we're going to have some news. You'll probably see some activity in the pre-market tomorrow for Novavax. Look for some high volume and look for it to be up. And if it is, it could be a fun day there. We're holding some that is, we bought at 712, so we would want it to get above that, somewhere above that, before we could unload what we had bought the other day. But a real good interview. Just talking about what they're doing there. It sounds like to me, based on what he said, that they possibly could have something as quick as 90 days, which is unbelievable for a vaccine. Normally, it's like, even in the interview, he said, it's a 4-year process. So to get something in 90 days would be awesome. The way he talked, it's possible that they'd already been working on it for as much as a month already. So let's just see how that news goes. It's not going to hurt anything. There's a lot of news this weekend about the virus. And, of course, we don't want anything like that to happen to anybody, but there's a whole lot going on about that virus. And It's not good. It seems like it may be spreading even worse. A lot of deaths. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. But the news is going to have a lot to do with these pharmaceutical companies, and they could get on a good run like they were a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to be watching that one real close. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Let's also take a look at our pre-market. Let's go ahead and jump over to there and take a look at the pre-market. So pre-market looks like right now we've got the Nikkei is down a little bit, Shanghai up just a tad, and all the other Asian markets are red right now. So let's take a look at the oil price. The oil is actually up just a tad as well, Brent and the oil, so that's good. May have a little help with MPC on that tomorrow. And our pre-market for tomorrow looks like the Dow futures is up about 55 points. So we're going to be watching that too. That's looks like we may start out green. I did look at this earlier, and we're actually red, so that's already turned around a little bit. So could be red again in the morning. Like we said, this is just something that we take a look at. Hopefully everything's okay in the morning and we get a good start to the market. But just watch the markets early in the morning. Watch that Novavax. See what's happening there. I'm going to keep a close eye on some of those things, some of those possible purchases. Be nice. We need to get a couple of things sold this week. We need to pocket that money that we can, and that's always a goal, is to get some money pocketed, especially if we can get it, every week of the month. That's always a good thing. We had a pretty good week last week, so we're in good shape. But by Wednesday or so, Wednesday, or no later than Wednesday, I'd like to go ahead and have one sale under our belt, and possibly two by Friday. But you never know. It's just depends how these markets go and what you're able to pick up and what price you're able to pick up. So, look, I appreciate everybody watching the videos. I've got a little activity this weekend, picked up a few more subscribers, and I really appreciate that. Please continue to like the videos. Please click that like button. And subscribe, and if you have any friends that are interested in trading stocks, feel free to share the videos with them too, and leave your comments. If you want us to track some stocks again, just leave it in a comment. We'll be glad to do that. Maybe even take a look at one of them and the charts on them, and just try to see what would possibly be a good price to buy it, if it would be a good price to buy. And but just appreciate you watching it. Stay tuned for some more videos. I'm going to be pretty free this week, so we'll be probably posting one daily, at least through Friday. And just have a great day tomorrow. Be careful with that open. If you're fooling with that Novavax, know that it's going to be very volatile probably with all this news going on, but hopefully we'll have a good day up. Other than that, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later tomorrow night. Thanks. Bye.